Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back for another horror movie review. Um, I reviewed my last video, got a new camera. So hopefully you can see me a little better. Also, I'm going to try and make these shorter. I know I'm very long-winded, very long-winded. And I have a horrible habit of not just reviewing the movie, but giving you like a step-by-step, play-by-play of the movie. I can't promise I will not do that because that's just who I am as a person, but I will do my best. And that's just my own criticism of myself. So if you like that, I will continue to do that because I'm great at it. So the movie we're reviewing today is 28 Days Later. Because of the last movie being so god awful, we had to go with a good one that I have seen before. So with that, we have our horror movie review notebook. Okay. Production was DNA Films, director Danny Boyle, writer Alex Garland. Again, I've seen this movie before. I already know that I do like it. I already have a general sense of what I'm going to rate it. So I will read you the ratings that are online. IMDb, a 7.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, their score 87% and audience score 85%. So pretty much the same. Odd to see that on Rotten Tomatoes, but you know. And then we'll go at the end through gore, suspense, creep, scored, that kind of thing. So right off the bat with this movie, the opening scene is very chaotic. There's a lot of quick camera changes. Your eyes don't have a lot of time to focus on anything because it's change, 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 this, look at this, look at that. And essentially you're in a lab. There are apes that are being tested on, which is horrible, I know, but that's a debate for another day. So the apes are getting tested on. We don't know what they're essentially being jabbed with. But then basically PETA comes in to save the day and they end up just fucking the world over. They release the monkeys, which apparently have been infected with rage. They then go on to attack the PETA people and the scientist, thus beginning the infection of the world. We don't really know. Following that, we go to, gosh, what's his name? The actor. Oh man, I even wrote it down. I know I did. It's all right. The very stunning, stunning man. He's also the lead actor in Peaky Blinders, so I am so sorry I don't know his name. I'm the worst with that. But he's naked, full spread, on the bed, but he's not dead. Ha! I rhymed. So it, you know, if you've ever watched The Walking Dead, it's kind of the same thing that they did in The Walking Dead, but one came before the other, whatever, where he wakes up in the hospital, all the doctors, nurses, all the other patients are gone. But he manages to get out, he grabs some food, and journeys out into the world. This does take place in London, and the shots that they get in especially the beginning of this film are amazing, to the point where, you know, because I do rate special effects, CGI or practical effects. I did look that one up because I couldn't remember it in the last video. So I did do a little digging to figure out, essentially they get these huge wide shots of the city of London and there's no one on the streets. There's nothing on the streets. They're totally abandoned. So I did look it up to see, is that real? Is that CGI? It's real. They would shut down the streets at 4 a.m. for an hour to film those shots. If you see it or if you have seen it, you know It's amazing to see that. And you probably wondered yourself, is this real? It is. Um, Let me see. Yeah, also with that scene, or that collection of scenes in the beginning of the movie where he's just now coming out of the hospital and he is looking around and he's not sure what's happening. He doesn't know where anyone is. And, he's just kind of wandering the streets. At one point, he sees some money on the ground. He picks it up. He's like, free money. Because at that point, you wouldn't know that cash is useless. Um, and just the slow buildup of the music, and it's just getting louder and more frantic. And then he comes to this wall of pictures of people and letters, clearly looking for their missing loved ones. And you want to talk about building suspense? I mean, my chest is tight just talking about it, imagining myself in that situation of just not knowing what the hell's going on. They did a phenomenal job with building that suspense and putting you in that position, and just makes you think, what would you do? Uh, oh God, the first people, like actual people he sees after waking up from this coma, um, are people that are just slaughtered inside of a church. And the suspense is still building and building and building. And then with a simple hello, you, I mean, uh, with that simple hello, you are now screaming at the TV, shut up! What are you doing? Why are you yelling? No, shut up! Pipe down! And then, I mean, instantly, when he says hello, you just hear like a guttural grunt, and you just see this zombie just way out in the pews just stand up and turn around with his mouth open, blood dripping, just eyes focused right on his next target. And you just start screaming, run! I mean, it gets you so engaged. Um, and what else? What else? Oh yeah, so he runs outside. He manages to be saved by two other lost souls, I guess. Um, they give him a pretty quick rundown of what's happened. They tell Jim, "Hey, your parents are dead. Ours are dead too. Everyone's parents are dead." And then they transition into their journey walking through the city with somber music and a somber tone. Again, putting you in that position of what if that were me? And I just woke up out of a coma. I come to find everyone's missing, and now I'm being chased and saved. And then I'm being told my parents are dead, and everyone I've ever known or loved is dead. And how do you process that? Again, phenomenal. Um, he does say, I want to see my parents. I want to see for myself. And while you're watching the movie, you're like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Of course they're dead." But again, if that were you, you would you would want to see for yourself. You wouldn't really want to see, but you would want to know for yourself. So they take their journey to his house, um, and when they go inside and he goes upstairs and he finds his parents. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't tell you exactly how, in what way, what shape, form, or fashion he finds them. It's gut wrenching. Um, it hurts to see it and just to think, oh God, I don't want to think about it. Um, in this movie, action seems to come when you least expect it, which is great for a horror movie. If you know what's around the corner, it's not going to scare you as bad. But this movie does a really great job of, you know, kind of going, look over here, and then something jumping from the other side and just jumping right out at you. I did put in here Selena. She is one of the the other two that saves Jim, who's the main character. She seems very bitter. I thought, damn, for 28 days in, she got bitter quick. But again, different people are going to react in different ways. Um, but we love Selena, okay? Um, and then, so they find a new small group of people to which they go on a journey with, and there is a scene in here that is a nice, refreshing breakfast club type break in the middle of the movie to kind of break from the action and the sadness and the scariness, and it's just a nice little wholesome part right there in the middle of the movie. And it also helps to build um, the characters up, help build your relationship with them. You feel a stronger bond with them so that later on in the movie, if and when something happens to one of those characters, you're going to feel more emotion towards that, which I think is brilliant. Um, yeah, it just suspends the gravity of the situation they're in for a minute, and um, kind of like, oh, there's always light in the darkness type thing. Um, they, oh man, how can I say this without spoiling anything? So they're on a journey to a destination for a purpose. Um, I will say that tragedy strikes at a point, and as hard as it was for Jim to find his parents in the way he found them and all that, because of the brilliant character building um, in this movie, the next part is especially hard to watch. um, it really, oh, this movie gets you. Um, let's see. Oh, yeah, I put if your soul isn't crushed, you don't have one. Of course, it's probably been a decade since I've seen this movie. So I did audibly gasp when I saw the next character introduced into the movie. Um, if you're familiar with not the latest season of Doctor Who, but the latest rendition, the latest run, the first season of the new kind of generation, I guess. Uh, I'm I'm not going to claim to be a Whovian. I don't know all the terminology, but come on, it's one of the doctors, okay? Christopher Eccleston um, is in this movie. Um, love him. I thought he was a great doctor. Um, you instantly get a feeling with this particular group that something is amiss, something's wrong. There is. And I think this movie just that goes to show kind of the horror of human nature, which so do shows like The Walking Dead. I'm actually doing The Walking Dead Tall Tale Games playthrough, doing live pretty much every night on my Twitch and my YouTube, and then they're posted, of course. But if you'd like to come join us, please do. They do that in The Walking Dead, where it's not just zombies. Zombies are the bad guys. Zombies are the scary ones. Because there's only so much you can do with zombies. They chase after you, they eat brains. But humans tend to get a lot more creative in how they're malicious to each other. So, uh, um, the movie does end with hope, but there are still questions, which, you know, there is a follow-up movie that came out probably years later called 28 Weeks Later. So that's how I'll kind of leave that. Again, I didn't want to give too many spoilers, but I did want to give you kind of my take on it. My overall score on a 1 to 5 rating. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me go through the individual ratings. So for Gore, out of 5 stars, I give it a 2. That doesn't mean anything bad. It just means it wasn't very gory. There are some parts, but I don't necessarily believe that a horror movie has to be a 5-star Gore to be good. Gore has a time and a place. Um, in this movie, I don't think a whole hell of a lot was needed because the story and the character um, build was so phenomenal. It didn't need Gore as a crutch for it. So, Suspense, 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, there are parts to this movie that really build with music in a really great way. The shots they use, really great. Um, Good bit of suspense in this. Creep factor, 3, just kind of middle of the road. There are creepy bits. Is it the creepiest? No. Predictable? I don't think so. Like I said, it's been 10 years since I watched the movie, so I have seen it before, and I was still like, oh yeah, that does happen. It's still kind of, I had to think back. So I would imagine if you're watching this for the first time, it would not be predictable. Relatable? Absolutely. Incredibly relatable. Like I said, you will find yourself going, oh, what if that was me in that situation? What would I do? Oh, I couldn't imagine. You're going to put yourself in their shoes. So for an overall score of 4 out of 5 stars. Great movie. Is it perfect? Is it the absolute best of the best? No, but it is damn close. And I really enjoy this movie. If you haven't seen it, I think you will too. But if you do watch it, if you will, just leave a comment below telling me what your score is. What did you think? Did you like it? Hate it? Did you feel for Jim? Did you feel for Selena? Let me know in the comments down below. I will catch you on the next horror movie review. Thanks. Bye, guys.